guys, welcome back to another video. So I wanted to start off with some announcements. So I will be posting videos every Wednesday and Friday, just so you all know and you're on the lookout for those. Also make sure to subscribe to my channels and click the notification bell. Look, starting to sound like a real YouTuber. So you get notifications on my videos. For now, I keep posting on like social medias about my videos, but I feel like that's gonna get annoying, so I'll probably stop eventually. So make sure you guys are subscribed, so you keep getting notifications about my videos. Okay, so for today's video, I'm going to be talking about conferences and why it's super important that you attend conferences as a Latino student, and this is beneficial for those who want to pursue a career in like research, in medicine, or in like any other STEM area. You should be attending conferences that are specific to your field and the field you want to study. Also, I'm having a bad hair day. My hair is super frizzy today because I didn't put anything in it and I took a shower and now it's like all frizzy. So if my hair bothers you, I'm sorry. It bothers me too. And I'll fix it later or something. So, back to conferences and why you should be attending. So I found it super important and helpful to attend conferences as a Latino student, because you get to meet so many people within the area that you're like studying, and specifically like whatever conference you attend within that area. Like there's conferences on everything, but like I prefer to attend conferences about like cancer related topics or like health disparities related topics, about medicine, about being pre-med, and so any of those I always try to attend. And what I've noticed throughout the years of me attending those conferences is that the same people attend those conferences. And from that, so like the first year I started going to conferences, like people that I met and introduced myself to and exchanged information, I kept seeing them at these same conferences. And then eventually they just become, friends and mentors, and people I can reach out to on the daily and ask them about anything. And so that's one of the reasons why I recommend you all should attend conferences, to make those connections like that, and to make those mentors. And those mentors, because they're within your field, they'll be able to let you know of any opportunities that they might know of, and it's a lot easier to find opportunities like that, because like they already know about them. So like if you're asking them about it, like if they can't remember on the spot, they'll think of you when they hear of other opportunities. And these opportunities could be anything. They could be like volunteer positions that they know of, or like it can be research positions that they know of, job positions. Like it could be a variety of things. And by you just being involved in your field, by attending these conferences and talking to people, you'll know about these things. And so I guess in a way it'll take a lot less effort to find out how to stay involved, because you'll just hear about these. And so that's great, that's helpful. That's also how I've found a lot of like opportunities, I guess, just through like talking to people. And like by talking to people, you'll find out about more conferences that are happening, or like other things. So that's why it's super important to talk to people at conferences. Also, by talking to people at conferences, you're gonna better your people skills. You're gonna know how to introduce yourself quickly, and you can learn how to talk more about your passions and your interests, because obviously people, they don't really want to hear you talk for like hours and hours about everything that you love, but if you learn how to make it short and sweet, maybe they'll find out that you guys have similar interests, and then they'll want to stay and talk to you because you guys have things in common. And these, like, learning to talk about yourself and what you like in a short, concise way is super important for interviews. And it could be any kind of interview too. It could be like interviews for medical school, it could be interviews for jobs. Like, you need to know how to communicate and how to talk about yourself clearly so people understand you. You need to be good at making eye contact. That's something I'm not that good at yet, but like, I try. And so you'll better all these skills, and especially if you are pre-med and you want to be a doctor, you need to know how to talk to your patients, and you can't be awkward. Like, if a mother is giving birth, you need to be able to like talk to her and help her, like guide her through the process. You can't be like, oh, I'm sorry, like I don't want to touch you, like this lady is already, like annoyed and mad. So you need to think about like, your patients if you are planning on being a doctor, and you need to make sure you need to communicate well. And you can learn to do that and practice doing that by attending these conferences. Also, as like a Latino student, or even just like a first generation student, you might not have anyone in the field you want to study. And if you don't have that, it could be more difficult to find opportunities, to find jobs. And so by attending conferences, you can help create a network of people in the field you want to study. And they can be your go-to people if you are looking for a job now, if you are looking for a new position, or all of that. They can help guide you through that. Like I already touched on, you'll find mentors there that, because they've seen you. So if you are starting to attend conferences as an undergrad, they'll see you from the beginning. Like, they'll see where you started out from, and they'll see your growth as you like graduate with your bachelor's, and maybe you'll go on to get a master's, or like you'll go on to grad school or medical school. They'll see all that progress, and if you keep them updated with your accomplishments, like graduating and like awards you win and stuff like that, they'll remember you and they'll keep you in mind. And they maybe later could be a letter of recommendation, or they won't be a letter of recommendation, but they'll be a recommender. And the people that you meet at conferences will be there throughout like your whole career. They could end up being your coworkers, your colleagues, and things like that. And so having them around from the beginning is good, so they can help mentor you and guide you until like you get to where you want to be. And even then, still keep them around, still keep talking to them. Like, you can always help each other out. I also really like attending conferences because you gain a lot of knowledge. And so for me, that I want to go into medicine, I try my best to attend a lot of conferences that are about medicine, and they teach me what it's like to be a doctor in certain fields. They teach me, the process that it took for someone to for someone to like want to become a doctor. Like, now I'm knowledgeable on the process, and like I'm not so naive as to like what to expect about medical school. Like, as an undergrad, you kind of don't think about the whole picture of becoming a doctor, if that makes sense. Like, you're kind of set your mind to like, I want to become a doctor, and that's all I want to do. And you think about the steps you need to become a doctor, and you don't necessarily think about like the personal part, or like the behind the scenes work of becoming a doctor. Like, what's their family and work-life balance? Like, do they have time for kids? Do they even have time for their family? Things like that. And you kind of start to see the kind of how the field is imperfect in a way, and you can see if you're okay with that or if you're not okay with that. And it's fine to not be okay with that. Like, for example, for me, I've been, involved a lot in like conferences, but also, like talking to doctors and like following up. And I've learned how medical school isn't perfect. Like it's really hard, and there's kids who cheat on tests, and some people won't do nothing about it. There's kids who do drugs in medical school to get through like studying long hours and doing exams, things like that. There's racism in like hospitals, and a lot of sexism. And as a student, if you're not getting involved and talking to people who are already in your field, you're not going to know about this stuff. Like you're only going to know what you've like Googled or so by talking to others, you'll learn everything behind the scenes about what you're getting yourself into. Like, is it worth the effort? Like, are you trying to bring some changes in the field? Like, things like that that you won't think of, and they won't really come to mind unless you talk to others in your field and you find all the imperfections of having a career in that field. And so that's why I think it's super important to talk to people that are in your field. And even by going to conferences, it's not enough as a student to go to conference and just go. It's not enough to just walk around. Like, you need to talk to people, and you need to introduce yourself. You need to get your name out there, because I'm assuming that your network is small and that you don't know that many people in the field that you want to go to. And so you need to get your name out there so they know you, and they'll learn that you're a hardworking student and that you're super cool and chill and things like that. And you need to follow up after the conference. If you meet a doctor you want to be like, and you really connected with them and their story, follow up with them, email them after the conference and be like, hey, my name is Crystal, and I really connected when you were talking about your story and where you come from and where you grew up, and I really admire you for your all your hard work. And just let them know that even if you don't have a question at the moment or anything specifically in mind, just email them about whatever you guys talked about or whatever kind of motivated you to talk to them. And keep following up as you accomplish more things in your career, as you graduate and win awards and do all this cool stuff with your life. Keep your mentors and people who saw you from the beginning, keep them updated, because then they can see your progress and help you get further in life, and maybe get you positions once you maybe once you graduate medical school. They'll be able to help you get into a residency program you really liked, or maybe they'll help you get a job at a hospital you really liked, and that's why it's super good to make friends within the field that you want to work in. And yeah, I think that's about it. I hope you liked my little spiel on why you should attend conferences. Please share this video again, as already mentioned. Share it with your friends and other people who are also pre-med or want to do research or work in the STEM area. And yeah, subscribe, hit the notification bell, yeah, that's it.